My name is Anthony. I'm your host for Leaving North News, and I have a question for you. How many of you guys watch NCAA sports? If it's the NCAA football to the big NCAA March Madness tournament, without a doubt, NCAA generates billions of dollars. According to USA Today, in 2013, the top 10 grossing universities generating revenue via participation in NCAA events, earning a combined of 1.3 billion, none less than earning 100 million. The next 10 universities each earned a minimum of 94 million, the next 10 no less than 82 million, and the next 10 no less than 70 million, while the NCAA itself grosses over 900 million a year. So you have an idea of how much the NCAA makes, and everyone sees the money except for the people responsible for bringing all that money in, the players, the students. Do you believe that NCAA athletes should see some of that money? Athletes devote their lives to their sports teams and treat it like a full-time job, but have no money for food or entertainment and other things. They have an average of about 40 hours a week of sports and training, which results in no time for studying, working, or free time for themselves. They don't have too much freedom for themselves, and this could be a problem mentally for them. Speaking as a college varsity athlete in Canada, I feel like athletes should receive more money than just a scholarship or bursaries because of all the expenses that students have during the year. Even though the OCAA is nothing like the NCAA, it still has its similarities. Most NCAA athletes are playing for one reason, and that is to either get to the pros and get free education. So when they see their chances to go to the pros, they don't look on finishing their education. They just go straight where the real money is made. Now I'm about to show you a video about the news talking about if student athletes should get paid in the NCAA.
A federal judge will decide this summer if college athletes can be paid with a cut of the multi-million-dollar television contracts in collegiate sports. But there's another lawsuit looming, one that could make college sports look a lot more like the pros.
They are pros who work without pay, and that's not fair. It's not right.
Jeffrey Kessler is the sports attorney who helped negotiate a free market for NFL and NBA players. Now he's representing these four athletes in a class action lawsuit against the 5 power conferences and the NCAA. Their antitrust lawsuit, filed this spring, seeks to give schools the option to pay athletes with salaries, not just with scholarships. The NCAA says a free education, that's payment enough.
Many of these athletes do not get their degree or graduate.
Dominique Wilkins was one of those guys who didn't graduate.
A lot of times the kids come out a little too early because they see the money. The money is very enticing.
Wilkins left the University of Georgia after 3 years to enjoy a long and successful career in the NBA. He left school partly because he didn't want to wait to get paid, and that meant sacrificing his degree.
As young players, I was one of those guys, I wanted to help my family and myself.
So, in a billion-dollar business, what is a scholarship worth? On average, it's about $23,000. By comparison, a joint study by Drexel University and the National College Players Association found the average worth of a collegiate football player is about $120,000. It's about $265,000 for the average men's basketball player. Athletes who want to see reform say some colleges already make millions of dollars on TV contracts and then shell out the big bucks for top-of-the-line coaches and facilities. So why not include the players? Some fear paying players will change the landscape of college sports. A 2012 poll found that about 2/3 of sports fans thought a scholarship was enough.
I think the idea of paying salaries would be counterproductive.
That's former NFL Commissioner Paul Tagliabue. He spoke at the Knight Commission on Intercollegiate Athletics in March.
If a case can be made in a given conference or in intercollegiate sports generally that more resources should be invested to the benefit of players, I strongly believe the focus should be on investing in their academic opportunities.
But Jeffrey Kessler says education took a backseat to profits a long time ago.
There's nothing innocent or pure about that. It's a business.
We've asked the NCAA about this lawsuit, and they're not commenting on it. But they have said consistently in court that they believe they're protecting college athletics and all of the traditions that come with it by fighting to keep athletes from being paid with anything except a scholarship. Sarah Ganem, CNN, New York.
So as you see, there's two sides to this right now. There's the NCAA saying that free education is enough, but there's players that are wanting to be paid based off salary because they need money for their certain situations. As you know that certain people are in certain situations, so you would think that some people would need the money now, or some people would rather get their education first. If athletes got a little money on top of their scholarship, just money to get by, then it would force them to stay in school and focus on getting their degree. On top of that, pay for their expenses and whatever they need to help their family with while they're in school, because it is not right that the NCAA is generating so much money and isn't letting the athletes see some of the money. Not saying that they should be paid like a pro, but just enough for them to get through school and 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 be as happy as they can while in school and not worry about the pros until their senior year.